Great benefits. Come fill out an application 24 hours a day at Exit 3 off Interstate 40. Lark, a full-spectrum seltzer from Washita Farms. Log on at larkhemp.com. Choose me over meth. See meovermeth.com for more information. And Zelli Pasta. Join the Pasta Club at zellipasta.com. That's Z-E-L-L-I pasta.com.
This is Hog Reaction on this Saturday afternoon after Arkansas defeats Florida 84-65, and it's a ball game where it was pretty evident early on that Florida was totally out of sorts offensively without Colin Castleton, who does everything for them. He's really their only scorer in double figures this season when you look at the statistics, and they had nowhere else to go there. No matchup inside. There was nothing Florida could do inside to slow down Arkansas getting to the bucket. 52 points in the paint. Most of those by Jalen Graham, who had the game of his life today. And, you know, a decent first half, back and forth a little bit. Arkansas avoided the big run, or being on the wrong end of the big run in the first half. And they lead by 6 at halftime. And in the start of the second half, they just blew the doors open. 17-2 run to start the second half. A lot more of the same going inside. And they hung on for a blowout win, a game they needed to have to keep NCAA tournament hopes alive today at Bud Walton Arena. They can't afford to lose a home game, really, moving forward if they're going to be a solid NCAA tournament team, and they accomplished the first step in that today by getting a win over Florida. So today we are using the Fort Smith phone number, so 877-377-6963. If you want to call in, if you want to text in, that's the number you can get to us here on Hog Reaction. Particularly if you want to call in on the text, we can see, you know, both sides. If you want to text the program, if you've got thoughts on what happened today, Christian is with me back in the studio, and it was a big bounce back win today, Christian, for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, it really was, and you make a good point. With Castleton being out, you knew going into this game that would have an impact. You're kind of wondering who's going to step up inside, and I think Jalen Graham made a point to capitalize on Castleton's absence. He put up 26 points in the game today, so he definitely capitalized on that. You know, if Castleton plays, it's probably a little bit closer, but hey, Arkansas, they dominated the game pretty much from start to finish and got a big home win.
Absolutely, and, you know, that was I like that they didn't get too complex. Don't outthink the room. So many times it seems like when you've got an obvious advantage, you'll see for whatever reason teams go away from that. And, you know, we see it sometimes when Arkansas struggles against a zone, the team they're playing against will stop playing zone for some reason. It just, you know, whether it's coach's pride or whatever it is. But today Arkansas kept with the mismatch inside with Graham, and it paid off for him in a big way to get a 19-point win. They don't score in the final couple minutes, but it doesn't really matter at that point because the game was already decided. You know, starters are coming out of the game, so it was a big win in terms of the it was a big win for a couple reasons, because, you know, you can't lose this game with your NCAA hopes sort of, you know, on the bubble. They were an 11 seed coming in, according to Jerry Palm on CBS, a 10 according to Lenardi, so that's not really a firm spot that you could be on in terms of if you lost a home game, you could be on the wrong side. So it was important to take care of business. It was important to see this team play better after, you know, the last 7 minutes, really the last 10 minutes of that A&M game where they didn't play very well at all on the road. And another key thing is when they're focusing on getting the ball to Jalen Graham or whoever inside, they're not chucking a bunch of stupid threes, which we know this team can't shoot threes. There is an empirical amount of evidence that tells you this is a bad three-point shooting team. Eric Musselman himself has said many times we're not good at that. And yet, for some reason, they keep trying, but today that wasn't the issue. They only attempted 10 threes today, Christian. They attempted 10 in that bad second-half performance against Texas A&M. So this is more of the recipe if Arkansas is going to win ball games in February and in March. It's to play this way, to get to the basket.
Yeah, they shot 2 of 10, so that's about normal for this team. And like you said, luckily it didn't hurt them because they won by 20. They did enough damage inside to kind of get a lead. And Nick Smith, man, he put up 10 points, didn't have an incredible game, but it looks like he's starting to build his confidence a little bit. Didn't play a ton of minutes, but, went 0 for 4 from 3. Man, when he starts hitting threes, I think he's probably our best three-point shooter, at least on paper. I know it hadn't, looked that way recently, but he's getting back into the fold. The players are kind of starting to play together, at least they did today, against a short-manned Florida team. Let's be honest, Florida's not a great team. We kind of expected to win this game, and it's good to see them actually dominate a game from start to finish and not have any kind of letdown like we've seen in the past.
Yeah, it was an important game today, and they handled themselves with the victory. And they, another thing that happened here is Devo doesn't score. Generally, he's the bellwether for Arkansas. If he's not great, they're not great. That's not the case today. He just gets one shot up, and Nick Smith likely taking away some of those attempts because Nick Smith went 4 of 12 in his 31 minutes on the court today for 10 points. It did look like it was a little bit more polished as Arkansas put this thing together. You can tell that there's, the more and more that this group works together, the more and more we could probably see maybe not 19-point wins, but at least a product on the court, Christian, that just looks like it's a little more cohesive than those first couple of games as they were trying to, kind of clumsily insert Nick Smith in as best they could.
Yeah, I don't think you can take too much from this game other than, you got to win at home. You looked pretty good doing it, so that's a positive heading into the Georgia game at home. You were on a 2-game losing streak, so you had to end that. And, Nick Smith, again, it looked like he was more confident. He's at home, so the crowd was behind him. He didn't have as much, pressure from the opposing crowd, so he took it to the basket a little bit, and you'd like to see him do that because he's pretty effective when he gets it down there near the basket as well. So, against Georgia, we're going to have to play kind of the same way. You're going to have to play a 4-quarter game. You're going to have to do what you do well. Don't jack up a bunch of threes, and because Georgia can come in and beat you, they're a pretty solid team. So, you checked off one of the tasks tonight by beating Florida.
All right, so that's where we begin here on Hog Reaction on ESPN Arkansas and on hitthatline.com. Our number to get a call in here is 877-377-6963. We've got some sound that we'll get to coming up here in a little bit. More of our thoughts on where this thing sits now. Arkansas 18-9, and they again pull to 500 in conference play at 7-7. Florida also 7-7 in conference play. So we'll talk about it all and, look around the league, all that stuff, bracketology. We'll get to it all here on Hog Reaction. Stay with us. We've got more coming up here on ESPN Arkansas and on hitthatline.com after this.
This is Hog Reaction, brought to you by Beckart and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, Choose Me over Meth, and Lark by Washita Farms.
Try something new at your tailgate or watch party this year with Lark, a full-spectrum seltzer brought to you by Washita Farms. You can catch a buzz without the booze since Lark is infused with just the right balance of hemp-derived THC and CBD. Lark comes in 4 refreshing flavors like strawberry guava, mango, grapefruit, and berry, and all are free of the bad stuff like sugar, carbs, calories, and alcohol. Find Lark at your local adult beverage store or have it shipped to your doorstep from larkhemp.com. That's larkhemp.com. Must be 21 to consume.
Searching for a promising career change? Looking for an established company that pays competitively and values its team members? Then come be a part of the Beckert family. Beckert and Van Buren has immediate openings for production operators paying up to $29 an hour. Sundays are paid at time and a half, and night shift work has an added premium of $1 per hour. Applications are available 24/7 at Beckert, located off I-40 at Exit 3. Apply today.
Call World of Wireless if you recently lost your internet service in the Paris-Subiaco area. World of Wireless, a local internet provider providing service since 2015 to rural Arkansas. We cover areas east of Fort Smith, south of Fort Smith, and rural areas with high-speed internet with plans starting at $49.95 a month. But you got to call us, World of Wireless, 478-6616. It's 478-6616. If you recently lost service from your internet provider in and around Subiaco and Paris, call us, 478-6616, or go to wowfastinternet.com.
Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company has 2 locations, 1316 South Zero and 200 South Zero Street in Fort Smith, serving the glass and glazing needs of Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Eastern Oklahoma, commercial and residential. Tub and shower enclosures, mirrors, glass table, and countertops cut to custom size are just a few services offered by Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company. Arkansas Glass and Mirror stocks laminate glass, plexiglass, Lexan, window glass, and mirror and plate glass. For more information, call 646-4300. That's 646-4300.
Are you needing new tires? Are you short on cash? Van Alma Tire can help you get back on the road. Come by Van Alma Tire and apply for caffeine. It only takes minutes to get approved, and you can get the tire or the service you need to get your vehicle back on the road. Top-of-the-line tires, brake service, and more. Van Alma Tire is here to help you. Located on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Must be 18 or older. Valid ID. Active checking account and income at least $1,000 per month.
CF Moto at Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma. Enjoy 0% interest for 6 months. No payments for 7 months through March 31st on all ATVs, utility, and sport side-by-sides. Auto Finders CF Moto inventory online at autofindersok.com. Auto Finders and Adventure, Oklahoma, where your search ends and adventure begins. CF Moto recreational vehicles are intended for off-road use only and can be dangerous to operate. Review all product manuals, labels, and safety information before operating. Always wear your safety gear and never operate a CF Moto vehicle under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Visit cfmotousa.com for complete training and safety guidelines.
Tax season is here. There is no need to fear the IRS. A1 Tax Service can help you get the largest tax refund legally possible, and you can get your tax refund advance up to $6,000 with no upfront fees, saving you money over the national chains. A1 Tax Service has the experience you need, locally owned and open year-round. Walk-ins welcome. Set your appointment. Call 484-7686 or come by 6901 Dallas Street at the corner of 70th and Dallas. A1 Tax Service.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind everyone to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I'd also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify.
The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $375 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor.
Love is in the air at Crane Used Car Supercenter of Fort Smith. And dealer-operator Joe Pulliam is making sweetheart deals all month long. Like pre-owned vehicles starting as low as $7,497. Or payments as low as $269 a month. You'll fall in love with a Crane Pre-Loved with lots to choose from. Kias and Land Rovers to full-size trucks, all backed by the Crane commitment. Rush to the Crane Used Car Supercenter, 8200 US 71 South in Fort Smith. UACC dealer details.
Late breaking news. Central Hydraulics has teamed up with Wacker Neuson to meet your ever-growing equipment needs. Wacker Neuson offers loaders, excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, and more. Central Hydraulics is also your Gates Hydraulic Hose Center. Stop by today at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Hog Reaction, brought to you by Beckart and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta and Springdale, Choose Me Over Meth, and Lark by Washita Farms.
Ahead to counsel, Ricky with a reverse slam! Oh my goodness!
Hog Reaction continues here on ESPN Arkansas and on hitthatline.com. 877-377-6963 is how you can reach us here on Hog Reaction. Arkansas with the win today, 84-65 over the Florida Gators at Bud Walton Arena. An important game. They got it done today and had a big game from Jalen Graham with 26 points. I wonder, obviously the lessons coming out of the Wednesday night game stuck about attacking the basket and getting and all of that stuck. But will that continue is the question I have, Christian. Is this the moment where the light bulb stays on, or if we see this team against a real interior again, and they will face teams that actually have, talented people inside that can pack it in, do they start to panic and chuck a bunch of threes again? Do they get away from their identity again? Or is this the moment where this is where it all flips and what we saw today, not in terms of margin of victory necessarily, but just in terms of the way the game looks with Arkansas on both ends, is this how it's going to continue to play out moving forward? Because if it's this way, with the way that they were attacking offensively, then they look like they're another a solid run could be in front of them in March, I think.
Yeah, I hate to keep bringing this up, but with Castleton, their best player being out down low, that obviously impacted the game, and so you're happy to see them take advantage of that. You want to see it continue moving forward, but I don't think you can expect a 26-point game out of Jalen Graham again. So you're going to obviously need other guys like Makai Mitchell, Mikal to kind of step up, take it down low, and see, players like Ricky Council drive to the basket. I think you're always in good shape when he's driving to the basket. So it's a good point. I mean, you got Georgia coming up, and then you've got a gauntlet, Kentucky, Alabama, and Tennessee, who's got some really good post players. So yeah, three-pointers are not our strength, obviously. We've said that. So you need to keep doing that, and you're glad to see them get the win today. And just you do hope that this is sort of like one of those momentum shifting wins that kind of propel you down the stretch and maybe knock off a team you shouldn't beat and kind of solidify yourself, because I think we're still – I don't know if we're on the bubble, but, any win you can get this late in the season, especially at home, taking advantage of that is good.
Well,
sure.
Well, and what happens when you win is now you feel like, and fans, the team, like you feel like things are possible. You feel like after a performance today, well, maybe they could go to Alabama and upset them. Maybe they could go to Knoxville and upset those guys. Maybe they could sweep the season series with Kentucky. It's just so dramatically different. How the only thing that really changes is what who had the most points at the end of the game, Arkansas winning this ball game, and yet the attitude is so different. The feeling is so different today as versus what it was Wednesday night when people thought, well, let's just cancel the rest of the season and move on to baseball.
That's a great point. I mean, after a win, anything's possible. Are we going to make a run, all that stuff? But, it's really, you got to take it a game by game, because each game is uniquely, has a unique challenge. And the team that you're about to play next doesn't care who you beat before. They're trying to beat you. And like I say, Georgia, you don't want to overlook any of your opponents. You got a home game coming up against Georgia that you should win. For some reason, I feel like it's going to be a little tougher to get than maybe today. Florida, like I said, was not at full strength. They started out, though, the way the game started, it kind of felt like, oh no, is this going to be, a heavyweight fight to the end? But Arkansas finally pulled away and started making shots. That's the key to this game today, is they finally started making shots against Mississippi State, who's a much better team than Florida, I think. You didn't make shots. You didn't go on a run. And today you saw that. So I think as fans, we're a little more optimistic after today's performance.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. 5 players in double figures today for Arkansas. I am interested. We were talking a little bit about this in the last segment about the Devo Davis component of this. Now, he's plus 16 in the plus-minus today, but he doesn't score any points. Yeah. But they were playing well when he was on the court, and now, how does this whole thing is evolving, right? Because you're putting Nick Smith back in there. You have to have him to win these games, contrary to some of the people who thought that he might as well quit the team or they should cut him after the game on Wednesday night. You need him, and so now as things are evolving, how does his role evolve? Does it take less of the offensive pressure off. Does it take offensive pressure off him to produce? And you can still have him in on the defensive end. I'm interested to see how that plays out as we play the rest of the regular season and move forward. How does his role change? Because it feels like today may be an indicator. I'm not saying he's never going to score again, but maybe it's different for him moving forward.
Yeah, you knew with Nick Smith, getting more minutes, that somebody would have to kind of take a back seat, and we figured it would be Devo. Devo did step up while Nick Smith was out. He played phenomenal. He showed that he is capable of knocking down shots when he's called upon, but that's not really Devo's in his DNA. It's playing defense, hitting timely shots from time to time. But yeah, we still need Devo. We need him to play well when he's in. I hope, like you were mentioning earlier, I hope mentally he's okay with kind of taking a back seat. I'm sure he is. He's a team player, and we need everybody to kind of do what they do well for this team to be successful. We don't need somebody, going out of their game. And just Devo is not a true scorer. He can score the basketball. We've seen that. He only took one shot today. That's a little weird for me, at least, to only see him take one shot. It's not like Nick Smith lit it up, but, it's kind of like each game's different. You're going to have different guys step up. You're going to look at somebody's stat line and be like, why did he only take this many shots? And also Ricky Council, he played a good game today. He was the second highest leading scorer with 15 points. So you like to see him contribute to the game as well. Contribute.
So also today, I think that talking about free throws is a lot like talking about the offensive line. Like, you don't really notice it unless it's really bad. Today, Tennessee shot 20-something% at the free throw line against Kentucky. Arkansas today, 14 out of 17, 82%, much better than they have been lately. And again, that's an important component to winning games that have postseason ramifications, whether it be on the road, at home, wherever it is, in Nashville, coming up at the SEC tournament. They've got to get better at shooting free throws. It sounded like listening to Jalen Graham and Eric Musselman with Chuck Barrett on the Learfield postgame show. They know it's an issue. They've emphasized it, and that is something that paid off today. But again, it kind of goes overlooked on a day like today when Graham goes for 26. Kind of like when the offensive line is really good, you don't really notice it in a football game.
Yeah, and the thing about Jalen Graham, he shot 15 shots, made 12 of them, so that's a phenomenal percentage. And I saw a texter said, who fouled out? Nobody fouled out today.
Yeah, that's true.
You had Devo Davis with three fouls, and that was the most on the team. So I also think that's a huge component to this team playing well, is you don't want to get guys in foul trouble, because you really need everybody out there, and so they can do what they do well. It needs to be a team effort.
Right. They avoided the foul trouble today with a good job of defending without fouling. Arkansas just whistled for 12 fouls in the entire game. Florida for 16. So a nice job there. Looking at some other things, Arkansas won points off turnovers. That's always important. Not a big margin, but enough, 17-10. I don't like Arkansas having 13 turnovers, but it ended up not really being a key factor in the ball game. You'd still like to see that a little bit lower. And then they clobbered them on the boards again, just like Graham did with the offense. On the rebounding, Arkansas took advantage of no Colin Castleton there. They were plus 15 in the rebounding today for Arkansas. And actually, the shows you how little a stat that they put in here, how long you lead the game. Mm-hmm. It shows you how little that matters. They led for more minutes Wednesday night, but they lost. Yeah. They only led for 28 minutes today, but they ended up with a blowout win. So there's another stat that you can, just take with several grains of salt, I guess, as Arkansas gets the win here today. Now, when we come back, we've got some sound for you, and we'll hear from the Razorbacks following this win. 877-377-6963 is how you can get in touch with the program today. Derek Ruskin here along with Christian back in the studio. It's brought to you by Beckert and Van Buren. Now hiring at up to $29 an hour with great benefits. Apply 24 hours a day at Exit 3 off I-40 in Van Buren at Beckert. Zelli Pasta in Springdale. Join the Pasta Club at zellipasta.com. That's Z-E-L-L-I pasta.com. Choose me over meth. And buy Lark, a full-spectrum seltzer from Ouachita Farms. You can log on at larkhemp.com. We'll be right back with more Hog Reaction here on ESPN Arkansas.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind everyone to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I'd also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify.
The homestead tax credit can save you up to $375 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit PatriotTransport.com to apply. That's PatriotTransport.com.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese. He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe in a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Call Phil Hicks in Greenwood or Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
J&B Supply is a proud supporter of Razorback Athletics and is your source for HVAC, plumbing, and electrical supplies. J&B Supply is a family-owned business serving thousands of customers in the wholesale plumbing, electrical, and heating and air conditioning business in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri since 1968. With their experience and inventory, they are where the professionals go. J&B Supply has locations near you in Bentonville, Springdale, and Fort Smith. Your source for all your lighting and plumbing fixtures. Learn more at jnbsupply.com or greathousefixtures.com.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work. Real work. Working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
While most of us are familiar with the opioid epidemic, we forget about the threat we faced for decades, methamphetamine. Meth is our biggest drug threat, and the number of people dying each year continues to grow. It's destroying our communities. You know, you've seen it. It might not have been your kid or your parent, but it was someone you know. To find ways to help, go to meovermeth.org. Choose your community. Choose your family. Choose yourself. I choose me over meth.
This message is sponsored by the North Arkansas Partnership for Health Education and the Me Over Meth grant.
This is Hog Reaction, brought to you by Beckart and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, Choose Me Over Meth, and Lark by Washita Farms.
Ahead to Council, Ricky with a reverse slam. Oh my goodness.
All right, we're back here on Hog Reaction following Arkansas's emphatic win over Florida today. You can give us a call, or you can text us 877-377-6963. That's how you can be a part of this and tell us what you think about Arkansas moving forward. Is this, does this fix everything? Is this a product of the circumstances? Arkansas just caught Florida at the right time. The first game after their star player goes out with a hand injury. What does it all mean? Or has Arkansas figured this thing up? Figured this thing out moving forward. So anything you've got on that, we'd like to hear from you here following this ball game. We now will hear from Eric Musselman following Arkansas's win today over the Florida Gators.
And obviously tonight, 17-2 run to start the second half. Much better than what's happened on many nights. In the past, we've been so good in the second half. So we took a step in the right direction for sure, playing better in the second half. But 52 points in the paint and a lot of positives that we can draw from this game. We felt that Jalen Graham had some really good matchups tonight. And obviously, he was phenomenal. 12 of 15. I think 2 of his misses he got back. So he played phenomenal basketball for us and did a good job defensively. He had 2 blocks, was plus 10 in the game. Nick Smith was, his 31 minutes were really, really valuable tonight because he can play 2 different positions for us. And then I thought Mekhi Mitchell with the double-double was really, really good inside as well.
So there's Eric Musselman following the game here. As far as the points in the paint goes, let's see here. Where did it go? 52 points. So this season, they've gone over 50 points in the paint a couple times. The Fordham game way back in November, San Jose State, Oklahoma, they really, just took it to that Oklahoma team over in Tulsa with 58 points in the paint in that game, and UNC Asheville. So this is the first, other than the Oklahoma game, Arkansas, picked on, teams that were smaller than them in some of the non-conference with points in the paint. They were able to do it again today. I'm kind of with you. I don't know if this is the way it's going to be from now on, but, it was good to, recognize what you've got out there and play, take advantage of the opportunities, and they did that today.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, each game has its own challenges, and you don't really care how you do it or who does it. You just want to get the win, and with Castleton being out, that definitely affected the game plan, I'm sure, for Eric Musselman. That also probably took a lot of weight off his shoulders as far as, getting Graham involved down low, because we know he can score, and he showed that today, and he played some pretty solid defense as well. So 26 points out of Jalen Graham. I don't think many people would have expected that going into the game. So, Muss was complimentary of his performance, and, you heard in the soundbite, Nick Smith, just what he gives you offensively, and he's playing hard on the defensive end, and we know that that's a key thing for Muss, for the players to play great defense. And the Mitchell twins, they're good down low almost every game. So, you want to kind of just channel this and do it every game, but some games you might have other guys step up, and today you had several guys step up. Anthony Black was solid as well, and you just got contributions from guys that you might not normally see in Graham, but each game is a different challenge. And today they answered the call. They got the win at home. That's all we really can ask for at this point in the season, with it coming down to crunch time.
I like the move of bringing in Ricky Council off the bench as the 6th man today. They tweaked the lineup, obviously, with Nick Smith starting. Council moved to coming off the bench. Also, Jordan Walsh was back in the starting lineup today. So you had Black and Devo, Smith, Mitchell, Mekhi Mitchell, and Walsh in the starting five. They didn't go with the Twin Towers of both Mitchells, in the twins in there in the starting lineup. But I like that, and this is something that we've seen where sometimes you try and boost some of the production you're getting when the subs come in, and Ricky Council just about 33 minutes of action, and he gives you 15 off the bench. Mm-hmm. It gets overlooked because Jalen Graham gave you 26 off the bench, but it seemed like today that was a role that he really embraced, and we saw him. He only tried one 3-pointer, so we saw him doing what he does best, which is get to the basket. Certainly on that reverse dunk down the baseline. It looked like he was playing against children when he did that. He made it look so easy out there. But that was another thing that changed today, Christian, that, I think that the brain trust got together, and this was something that looked like it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, you like to see players do what they do best. I know it's easier said than done in some games. Sometimes the defense will force you to take uncharacteristic three-pointers, and like you said, he shot a couple threes. That's okay, but the thing is, he didn't keep jacking them up. And today with the lead, you had a lead for most of the game, so you kind of felt comfortable with it for the most part. It just never really felt like Florida was gonna really make a run or anything, because the way the offense was playing, Jalen Graham was playing well. It almost kind of allowed other guys to step up. And Nick Smith, again, I go back to him, 10 points, you'll take that. His third game back, I'll take that any day. His point production will go up as the season goes along. So you just want to see him out there. And I think, that makes us all feel better when he's out there and we're winning games.
Absolutely. That's exactly today was the recipe. Get to the basket, don't foul a lot, don't get into foul trouble. Don't take a bunch of ill-advised three-point shots. Now, the reason this worked was because Florida really wasn't able to pack it in defensively and force and take anything away inside. So it's still, kind of determine how this will look against a real interior. Mm-hmm. But today you can't argue with the results, and there are some things that you can take out of this that you can build on, of course. Moving forward for Arkansas as they try and wrap up this season and get and keep this thing rolling here as the season, 4 games left in the regular season now.
Yeah, anytime you get a win, team morale is better. Everybody feels better. The team is together, and it kind of helps you going into the next game, gives you some confidence. That doesn't mean you can overlook Georgia because they're a good team. I guess they could be a bubble team. If they get some wins down the stretch, they might be looking as a possible tournament team. So, you just got to take care of home court. You've got Georgia next, then you got Kentucky at home, but you've got Bama and Tennessee sprinkled in there. So you want to see the team starting to click before they make those trips to Tuscaloosa and to Tennessee. So, man, I think if you get one of those wins. If you get the win against Tennessee, you take care of home court, you get a win against Tennessee maybe, I think you're sitting pretty good as far as getting in the tournament, regardless of what you do in the SEC tournament. You'd like to see them at this point, I'd like to see them play 2 or 3 games in the SEC tournament just to kind of get some more games under their belt, get Nick Smith going again, and I think that will bode well going into the NCAA tournament.
All right, we'll hit on the bracketology angle of this when we come back here on Hog Reaction. Again, the number today, 877-377-6963. It's an 84-65 win for the Razorbacks. They pulled a 7-7 in conference play, and we will have much more right after this.
This is Hog Reaction, brought to you by Beckart and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, Choose Me over Meth, and Lark by Washita Farms.
Zelli Pasta is a family-owned shop at 809 East Emma Avenue, Unit D in Springdale, and they make all organic pasta with grains grown and milled in North America. Extruded through bronze dies, custom-made in Italy, which gives it texture, allowing sauce to stick to the pasta. They have everything you need for perfect pasta at home, including fresh sauces. And you can pre-order lasagna and stuffed shells for pickup and enjoy homemade ravioli every Saturday. Join the Pasta Club for something new to try every month. Get delivery now. Log on to zellipasta.com. That's ZELLI pasta.com.
Searching for a promising career change? Looking for an established company that pays competitively and values its team members? Then come be a part of the Beckert family. Beckert in Van Buren has immediate openings for production operators paying up to $29 an hour. Sundays are paid at time and a half, and night shift work has an added premium of $1 per hour. Applications are available 24/7 at Beckert, located off I-40 at Exit 3. Apply today.
J&B Supply is a proud supporter of Razorback Athletics and is your source for HVAC, plumbing, and electrical supplies. J&B Supply is a family-owned business serving thousands of customers in the wholesale plumbing, electrical, and heating and air conditioning business in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri since 1968. With their experience and inventory, they are where the professionals go. J&B Supply has locations near you in Bentonville, Springdale, and Fort Smith. Your source for all your lighting and plumbing fixtures. Learn more at jnbsupply.com or greathousefixtures.com.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV? What? No way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Gray Steel Structures Incorporated is a family-owned business based in Greenwood, specializing in steel structures. Owner Will Gray has 20 years' experience doing the job right and making sure you're satisfied with the structure you have a need for. Gray Steel Structures serves both commercial and residential customers. Whatever your need may be, mini storage, RV storage, home workshop, or any metal building need, make Gray Steel Structures your first call. Gray Steel Structures, 252-2783. That's 252-2783.
GraySteelStructuresInc.com. That's Gray with an A.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Butch of Whitspring, your authorized tracker and Mercury dealer. February the 23rd to the 25th will be our in-house boat show with a great inventory of Regency and Sun Tracker pontoons, bass boats by Nitro, Tracker, and Triton, plus deck boats and runabouts by Tahoe, all powered by Mercury, with gift cards ranging from $300 to $1,000 with purchase. Or how about upgrading your current boat with a new Mercury outboard? This will be a great time to meet the new owners of Whit's Marine with their commitment to still provide the same great service and custom rigging. That's Whit's Marine, 823 North 11th and Fort Smith.
Hi, this is Melissa Vitale, owner of True Grit Running Company. Your young athlete deserves the best when it comes to footwear. After all, it's good to start early so they don't have problems in the future. We've got options for training, cross-country, gym class, and more. Our well-trained staff can guide your student athlete through our personalized fit process to help find that True Grit fit. And for our cross-country kids, we offer a 10% discount off of your total purchase. Visit our store in Fort Smith, located behind Chick-fil-A.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
The biggest and best selection of brand new 22 and 23 Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisol Ford. The 22 F-150. Get a $1,000 rebate and 1.9% financing for 60 months. Ford Bronco Sports, 3.9% for 60 months or 5.9% for 72 months. Plus Mach-E Mustangs, Escapes, and more are ready today with special offers. The best selection of new Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisol.
This is Hog Reaction.
Ahead to Council. Hogs lob it to Black for a throwdown.
Brought to you by Beckert and Van Buren. Now hiring up to $29 an hour with great benefits. Come fill out an application 24 hours a day at Exit 3 off Interstate 40. Lark, a full spectrum seltzer from Washita Farms. Log on at larkhemp.com. Choose me over meth. See meovermeth.com for more information. And Zelli Pasta. Join the Pasta Club at zellipasta.com. That's ZELLI pasta.com.
All right, it is Hog Reaction here on ESPN Arkansas. The Razorbacks get the win 84-65 over Florida. The brackets situation for Arkansas seems to be pretty cut and dry. If they win against Georgia, they kind of get two free cracks on the road with Alabama and Tennessee. I don't think two losses are going to just destroy their resume. And then the Kentucky game is going to be really interesting because Kentucky's been inconsistent too, like Arkansas has. So are they on an upswing then? And are they, Kentucky is a team that is, they're also in that 10-11 area right now. Now they get a win today, so that's going to help that when the new net rankings come out on Monday from the NCAA. But it'll be interesting. I want to see where those two teams will be when they get together 2 weeks from today in Bud Walton Arena, because that could be a game to boost seeding. Mm-hmm. That could be a play-in game as you head towards the SEC tournament, Christian. That game is going to be really, really pivotal. That's the most important game left when you consider not much is lost if you lose to Bama and Tennessee. And obviously Georgia is kind of like today. A win will be pretty good. A loss would be devastating to the resume there.
Yeah, first things first, you've obviously got to take care of business against Georgia, and once you do that, you can start looking ahead a little more. You've got Tennessee, Alabama, and as you were saying earlier before the show, it'd be nice to get one of those wins, but I don't think losing on the road to Bama or Tennessee is going to necessarily kill you. And then you've got Kentucky to close out the year, which could be a huge game, as you just said. Kentucky got a huge win against Tennessee today. They've beat Tennessee both times they played them this year, so obviously, Kentucky is one of those teams that you still have to show up and you have to play well. It's hard to beat Kentucky and Calipari twice in the same year. I know we've done it in the past, but it's hard to do that. So, man, you want to go, you want to win 3 of your next, 5? What we got left?
There's, let's see, there's 4 left now, I think.
Yeah, you want to win at least 2 of those and maybe get a win on the road and see where it takes you, because like you said, that Kentucky Arkansas game at the end of the season is going to be important for both teams, and Arkansas is going to need to play well down the stretch to win that game.
Kentucky has, I don't know if they have as much of an opportunity to build their resume. So here's what Kentucky has left in the last 4. We know they wrap up with Arkansas, but up next, Wednesday night, Kentucky goes to Gainesville to play Florida. Then Saturday, they have Auburn. Next Saturday, they have Auburn at Rupp Arena. They've got Vanderbilt at Rupp Arena next Wednesday on March 1st, and then, of course, they come here on March 4th to wrap up the regular season. So you've got couple winnable games there. I don't know what Auburn, they've kind of been up and down a little bit as well, but that game is at Rupp. So you've got 2 at home, just like Arkansas, 2 on the road for Kentucky down the stretch, and their resume. The point is that I think Arkansas would be boosted if they could pull off one of these road wins against Alabama, Tennessee.
Sure.
I think it would be a bigger boost for Arkansas because I don't see a way Kentucky can have that kind of bounce. Now, they'll get it today because they beat Tennessee, but there's not another opportunity for Kentucky to get a bounce like that with their 4 games left, unless they come to Fayetteville and win on March 4th, I guess.
Yeah, and what the win for Kentucky today tells me, they just have Tennessee's number. I mean, they just do, and that they showed it today. They pretty much dominated the game against the Vols. So Arkansas, they've got a tough schedule down the stretch. 4 games. You got to start with the Georgia game, like I said earlier, and get that win. Kentucky, they're a great team. You don't want to ever play them when their back's against the wall and they need a win, because Calipari, as much as we like to hate on him, he's still a pretty good coach.
Yeah, Georgia coming up at 5 o'clock is on the road at Alabama. So the Tide may be able to soften them up a little bit before they come to Fayetteville for that late Tuesday night tip at 8 p.m. At Bud Walton Arena. So that's what Georgia has to handle today. They're almost 20-point underdogs on the road, as you would expect with Alabama today. So that's who Georgia has before that game, before they come to Fayetteville coming up on Tuesday night. But yeah, it's this is where we are. 4 games left, regular season winding down. Not so much of a, Arkansas would like, obviously, to figure out a way to avoid Thursday in the SEC tournament and get to the top 4. I don't know if that's going to be in the cards. I think they're, 2 or 3 games out of the 4 spot headed into today. I'll pull up the standings right now. But they could have to play on Thursday in the SEC tournament coming up in Nashville. So they're 7-7. They are, they're 2 games out of the 4 out of the 4 seed. So if they did pull one of those upsets on the road against Alabama or Tennessee, maybe that becomes a conversation that they can entertain there. But I think the resume is pretty good. Yeah. You can't lose to Georgia. Whatever happens, Alabama, Tennessee, the effects are minimal. The Kentucky game looms really, really large.
Yeah.
Depending on how things shake out. If Kentucky's coming in off of somehow they get beat by Vanderbilt, for example, well, then they may need the Arkansas game to even, make the tournament or something like that happens. You just don't know night in and night out how they're going to show up. Maybe they start a trend here like Arkansas starts a trend here with the win today. With these 2 teams, it's just been so hard to predict. Arkansas's had its issues with the lineup revolving, and Kentucky's had injury issues as well. They didn't have Wheeler or Frederick again today in the lineup.
Yeah, like you just said, Kentucky, you don't at the end of the year when their back's against the wall, like I said earlier, they're gonna throw it all at you, and they're gonna make sure that they win the game. And the thing we forget is Musselman is a great coach as well. He knows every one of these games are important. He knows what we're saying right now. He knows that he's got to take care of home court. He knows Georgia's a good team and they can come in and beat you. And I honestly think that going on the road against one of these teams, it just feels like we're going to have a chance to at least win at the end. I don't know if we'll pull it out, but I think it can help us momentum-wise. We don't want to go to these. We don't want to go on these road games and just get blown out. We want to stay close and keep the team kind of together and keep the team morale together heading into the SEC tournament. And you would love to not have to worry about winning a game or 2 in the SEC tournament. I think if you beat Georgia and Kentucky, I don't think you have to win in the SEC tournament, but I think it would bode well if the team won a couple games in the SEC tournament and get some more games under their belt, especially with Nick Smith still working his way into the lineup and trying to find a role for this team.
All right, we will hit a break here on Hog Reaction. 877-377-6963 is the phone number. We'll Get back into what happened today at Bud Walton Arena. Coming right up here in a moment. Hog Reaction on ESPN Arkansas and on hitthatline.com.
This is Hog Reaction, brought to you by Beckart and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, Choose Me over Meth, and Lark by Washita Farms.
Try something new at your tailgate or watch party this year with Lark, a full-spectrum seltzer brought to you by Washita Farms. You can catch a buzz without the booze since Lark is infused with just the right balance of hemp-derived THC and CBD. Lark comes in 4 great flavors like strawberry, guava, mango, grapefruit, berry, and all are free of all the bad stuff like sugar, carbs, calories, and alcohol. Find Lark at your local adult beverage store or have it shipped to your doorstep from larkhemp.com. That's larkhemp.com. Must be 21 to consume Lark. Zelly Pasta is a family-owned shop at 809 East Emma Avenue, Unit D in Springdale, and they make all organic pasta with grains grown and milled in North America. Extruded through bronze dies, custom-made in Italy, which gives it texture, allowing sauce to stick to the pasta. They have everything you need for perfect pasta at home, including fresh sauces. And you can pre-order lasagna and stuffed shells for pickup and enjoy homemade ravioli every Saturday. Join the Pasta Club for something new to try every month. Get delivery now. Log on to zellypasta.com. That's ZELLI pasta.com.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. Hey, we're back again at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Nobody will pay you more for your trade, and if you find yourself in a situation with an extra vehicle for whatever reason, Harry Robinson will buy that vehicle from you.
Yes, definitely. The checkbook's open. Bring it down here. Let us give us 5-10 minutes. Let us do a quick appraisal. I promise you'll be surprised. Show up with your title and your lien release, and we'll get you a check cut today. We are the home and more for your trade. We want to hold to that. We want to buy your vehicle. So it doesn't matter if you're shopping somewhere else, out of town, out of state, down the road. Give us the opportunity to purchase your vehicle.
What specifically are you looking for right now to add to the inventory?
Right now, we're looking for about a 2015 and newer with less than 120,000 miles. It's still worth top dollar, and we want to write you a check for it. So come down here and see us.
It will only take about 10 minutes, and nobody will pay you more for your trade than Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw, and always online at harryrobinson.com.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the Mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This Rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Are you needing new tires? Are you short on cash? Van Alma Tire can help you get back on the road. Come by Van Alma Tire and apply for caffeine. It only takes minutes to get approved, and you can get the tire or the service you need to get your vehicle back on the road. Top-of-the-line tires, brake service, and more. Van Alma Tire is here to help you. Located on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Must be 18 or older. Valid ID. Active checking account and income at least $1,000 per month. Tax season is here. There is no need to fear the IRS. A1 Tax Service can help you get the largest tax refund legally possible, and you can get your tax refund advance up to $6,000 with no upfront fees, saving you money over the national chains. A1 Tax Service has the experience you need, locally owned and open year-round. Walk-ins welcome. Set your appointment. Call 484-7686 or come by 6901 Dallas Street at the corner of 70th and Dallas. A1 Tax Service.
Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company has 2 locations, 1316 South Zero and 200 South Zero Street in Fort Smith, serving the glass and glazing needs of Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Eastern Oklahoma, commercial and residential. Tub and shower enclosures, mirrors, glass table, and countertops cut to custom size are just a few services offered by Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company. Arkansas Glass and Mirror stocks laminate glass, plexiglass, Lexan, window glass, and mirror and plate glass. For more information, call 646-4300. That's 646-4300.
Wheeler Power Sports has their showroom packed to help you jumpstart your spring adventures. Off-road accessories such as sound bars, light bars, roofs, windshield, wheel, tire kits, and more. Looking for a new off-road or street vehicle? They are loaded with Polaris, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Kimco, and KO units. Give them a call at 479-783-5822. Online at WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Powersports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Hog Reaction, brought to you by Beckart and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, Choose Me over Meth, and Lark by Washita Farms.
Ahead to counsel, Ricky with a reverse slam. Oh my goodness.
All right, Hog Reaction here on ESPN Arkansas. It was a 19-point win for the Hogs today, 84-65 over the Florida Gators. Arkansas 18-9, they're 7-7 in the league. They are 5.5 out of first, but more importantly than that, they're 2 games out of the 4 seed as you start to maybe peek ahead to the possibilities of conference tournament, and could they get up and get a double bye? How could that occur? So just looking at that as they try and improve their seeding for that, which is coming up in a couple of weeks there. Just kind of going over again some of the high points. Obviously, we've spent a lot of time talking about Jalen Graham's 26 points. Arkansas found the mismatch early and often without Castleton there, and they just kept going to it over and over. You know, a lot of times you'll see coaches have a big mismatch like this, and for whatever reason they won't exploit it over and over again. Today was a day where Arkansas decided to continue to hit that soft spot in the Gator defense. 26 points for Graham, 52 points in the paint for Arkansas. This is the recipe for them to have success, is to have a lot of points in the paint, not a lot of three-pointers. They attempted 10 three-pointers in the second half against A&M. They attempted 10 in the entire game today against this Florida team. And then they ran Florida off the three-point line. You know, a shorthanded team, they're going to try and chuck some threes to keep it close, and Florida, Christian, only goes 4 of 21 from beyond the arc. That's 19% today. So Arkansas did a good job of defending once again without fouling. They did foul the three-point shooter a couple times there. You don't like to see that. But on the whole, another solid defense. We've seen that be pretty consistent with this team throughout the last few weeks, the way that they play defense.
Yeah, and another thing is obviously Muss keyed in on Castleton being out, and he probably stressed all week for, Jalen Graham needs to step up, and because he's our best low post offensive player, I would say, and he definitely showed what he's capable of today. And it was weird to me to kind of see Florida jack up that many threes. I know Castleton was out, and you probably weren't going to see the production down low that you normally see out of the Gators. But, man, they really, for the most part, made a focus almost, it seemed like, to shoot threes.
Yeah, it's tricky. These things go one of two ways, usually. I talked about this throughout the week, that sometimes you can have somebody, everybody does a little bit more, and you can make up for the loss of a player like Castleton. But what happened today, a couple things. Arkansas really frustrating to go against as an opposing offense. We've seen that throughout the year. And in Florida, just, they just look like they have a bunch of guys. Like they don't have another star player really that they have out there. I mean, maybe Will Richard, but he had 10 points today. The Kugel kid had 17. That's pretty good. But they don't have a stud that they can go to when a guy like Castleton goes down. Todd Golden's one of the younger coaches. I'm not really sure, as he builds this thing moving forward, how it's going to go. He's kind of a fish out of water. He's not an East guy or a Southern guy. He's out from the West Coast. But you know what? Muss is, not really a Southern guy either, and it's worked out pretty well at Arkansas. So you just don't know how that's going to go. But it was a tough day for them, and Arkansas deserves a lot of credit because, again, the thing they can control is how well they play defense.
Yeah, and just imagine we kind of know what it's like losing our best player, don't we? Nick Smith going out, and
yeah.
how
and Brazil,
Yeah, exactly, and how we had to, how Muss had to shift the lineup around a million times, and I'm sure this is Florida's first game after losing a guy like Castleton, a guy that's pretty much their entire team. So, it would have been. It's a tough task to ask them to come to Bud Walton and win. And you saw some flashes of they might keep this close, but Arkansas eventually just took over the game. And a loss like that to your best player, especially this late in the year, probably Florida is just going to almost, I wouldn't say tank, but go downhill the rest of the season.
Well, it's going to be difficult for them. Somebody's going to have to carry the mail for them if they've got any chance. And, by the way, you just lost to Arkansas. Now you get to host Kentucky on Wednesday night. So, if of course this happens where they don't play South Carolina or LSU next, of course they have Kentucky as their next game. It always seems to work out that way, whoever it is. When something bad happens, it's compounded, it seems like, because it never happens in the right spot of your schedule where you can, try and figure some things out against one of the weaker teams of the league. It always has to be when you've got, some of the big guns up on your schedule coming up here. But that's how it goes sometimes, I guess. Anyway, as far as Arkansas goes, a really solid performance with 5 players in double figures. Mekhi Mitchell goes for 10 and 10, so a double-double for him today. Anthony Black, a nice game. One more turnover than assists, so you'd like to see that flipped around, but 14 points for him. As the only odd part of today, well, one of the odd parts of today that stands out is Devo only getting one shot and not scoring any points. Yeah, that is a little weird. Like I said earlier, each game's different. You're going to see guys take maybe more shots than they should, or some guys take less than they should. With obviously with Nick Smith's minutes going up, playing 30-something minutes, Devo, I'm sure he wasn't asked to do as much offensively. That's just really that's not in his DNA as a player. He can fill it up, and we saw him. When we need points, he is capable of giving us the spark that we need. But I think as we see the rest of the season play out, you're going to see Devo kind of at least focus more on his defense, and he's still a good mid-range shooter, and we're gonna need him to knock down some shots. But I don't think we'll see Devo just shoot one shot from here on out. I think that was just kind of a one-off game. I think he's going to need to score more points for us down the stretch. All right, we will take a break here and come back and wrap this thing up in just a moment. Hog Reaction is brought to you by Beckhardt and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, Choose Me Over Meth, and LarkHemp.com. We'll be right back on ESPN Arkansas.
This is Hog Reaction, brought to you by Beckhardt and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, Choose Me Over Meth, and Lark by Washita Farms.
While most of us are familiar with the opioid epidemic, we forget about the threat we faced for decades, methamphetamine. Meth is our biggest drug threat, and the number of people dying each year continues to grow. It's destroying our communities. You've seen it. It might not have been your kid or your parent, but it was someone you know. To find ways to help, go to meovermeth.org. Choose your community. Choose your family, choose yourself. I choose me over meth.
This message is sponsored by the North Arkansas Partnership for Health Education and the Me Over Meth grant.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. A new year means it's time for new work boots, work shoes, safety shoes, casual shoes, fishing shoes, hiking boots, and cowboy boots. Gelco Outdoors has the largest selection and the best brands, ready to make your feet feel happy in the new year. Crappie fishermen, Gelco is stocking up for the spring season. Come check out the gear. 50% off clothing on the clearance rack, loaded with New Year savings. Gelco Outdoors, your store for work and the great outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work, real work, working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Get the best value, service, and TV locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Stop in and ask us about the Hopper 3, Dish's most advanced DVR that delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recordings anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now. WOW World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details. Or online at shopwownow.com. World of Wireless is located at 601 Church Street in Barling, next to Frank Rowe Furniture. That's 601 Church Street in Barling. Come see us at our new location.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device.
It's a new year. Why not put a new-to-you vehicle in your driveway? Road Chevrolet wants to buy your vehicle today, and that means you can get out of your old ride and into a great car, truck, or SUV from Road Chevrolet. In fact, trucks starting at only $14,482. Yeah, trucks starting at $14,482. Find new roads. Road Chevrolet, just off I-540 exit 2A Van Buren. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
Hi everyone, this is Lisa with Davis Floor Covering. Are you ready to update your home or office and get it looking its best? Whether it's new carpet, hardwood flooring, tile, stone, or luxury vinyl plank, Davis Floor Covering can help you with all your flooring needs. With the best brands such as Bella Sarah Hardwood and JP Mathis Vinyl Plank Flooring. And we even do countertops, so come on in and let's get started. Davis Floor Covering, 3 locations to serve you, Fort Smith, Springdale, and Tahlequah. Or call us, 479-452-4808.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind everyone to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I'd also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify.
The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $375 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Hog Reaction, brought to you by Beckart and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta and Springdale, Choose Me over Meth, and Lark by Washita Farms.
Ahead to counsel, Ricky with the reverse slam. Oh my goodness.
All right, we don't have a ton of time here before we wind down. I want to remind many of you along the network that there's Razorback baseball coming up at 6:30 tonight as Arkansas plays in Arlington again after beating Texas last night. So they'll play their second game of the event down there, the College Baseball Showdown. And the pregame coverage, Brett Dolan and Bubba Carpenter have the call for us coming up at 6:30 tonight here on ESPN Arkansas. So if you don't want to mess with Flow Sports and someone paid $40 to watch Flow Sports, why anyone would do that, I have no idea. You can listen to it absolutely free here on many of these ESPN Arkansas stations and on hitthatline.com. Another thing to mention is that we've talked about Arkansas's next game is a home game with Georgia Tuesday night. It's an 8 p.m. tip at Bud Walton Arena. So we'll see if that what happens there. Another big crowd will gather, I'm sure, as the Razorbacks are coming off of a win. Georgia's about to start their game with Alabama coming up here in a few minutes in Tuscaloosa. And the Tide are almost 20-point favorites in that game after their loss to Tennessee earlier in the week. So, Christian, that's about going to wrap up our time here on Hog Reaction today.
Had fun, man. Glad the Hogs pulled it out today. Like you said, we've got another big one at home against the Georgia Bulldogs. That should be interesting, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
Absolutely. So that is going to wrap up Hog Reaction. Arkansas beats Florida today 84-65 to go to 7-7 in the league and 18-9 in conference play and help boost their NCAA tournament status after the win today at home. So thanks for listening, everybody. This has been Hog Reaction on ESPN Arkansas and on HitThatLine.com.